not going for it. This guy's going man mode.
Look at my goodness.
Wow. No, can he make it? He did.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Monkley's burned. That spot. Oh my god.
Oh, he died. Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well. This is literally synced in the final escape.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament. We have a bit of a special match here today. This is the first division finals that we're going to see. Hydra coming in from the winner's bracket and Monkley trying to fight his way back to progress to the brackets. Joining me on commentary is someone sitting about 3 feet from me. I'm literally touching him right now. It's Wooligan.
Can you stop?
No.
Stop poking me.
No.
All right. Fine. Yeah, hi. Hey, I'm Voligin. That was Fant. He didn't introduce himself because he's such a pro. But fortunately, I'm a pro too, which is why I'm actually talking about the match and not talking about unrelated stuff. This is coming to you from the Ream division, of course. As you see, we zoom in on this part of the bracket. This is the end of that division. As Fant told you, we've got #1 seed Hydra, #17 seed Monkley, and since this is the finals of this particular division, Fant, and since we've got the winner's bracket versus the loser's bracket situation, there's a slight difference in how this match works, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Hydra coming in from the winner's bracket, he has not lost yet. Monkley has taken a loss and had to fight his way through the lower bracket. And this is a double elimination tournament, so Monkley is going to have to take not one but 2 victories over Hydra to advance to the bracket stage. And Hydra just has to win one of those 2 matches. So, going against the #1 seed is pretty difficult, and Monkley is going to have to take him out twice in a row. So, by no means an easy task, but we've seen a lot of crazy turns of events in this tournament. Anything is possible.
That's true. Hydra, of course, has really made a name for himself in this tournament, in Ori in general, of course, as well. But particularly in this tournament, he claimed the 1 seed by virtue of having the fastest overall time of any player in the tournament with a 28:57, which not only has no one else gotten a 28, but that's within a dozen seconds or however many of world record. Is just ludicrous how good that time is, and within 6 seconds of his PB. Whereas Monkley, his PB is far behind Hydra's fastest race time, right?
Well, yeah, Monkley's coming in with the PB of, I believe, a 30:31. So that's about a minute and a half or so behind, a little bit more than that, behind Hydra's PB. It's like quite a difference. And when you get down to people of this caliber, like the gap just seems really, really difficult to cross. But, Hydra has been busy lately, has not been able to practice too much all skills. So, depending on how he performs today, that could go up. Getting close to your PB when you have a 28 is incredibly difficult, even for somebody like Hydra.
That's very true. And we were watching, a little bit of Hydra's practice earlier, and it did seem like, he was a little bit iffy on some sections, but sometimes in practice, it's just whatever, right? Because there's no stakes. Whereas once the race actually gets going, and we are getting going, it might kind of just take off. You might be able to go off of the, the adrenaline and just really kick some butt and nail all those tricks.
Monkley coming in with the nice, let's see, is that pink Ori? Look pretty pink. It looks
pretty pink, yeah. Oh, it's a lovely color. It's the perfect color for we're just into spring now in the northern hemisphere, of course, and look how lovely that color goes with that lovely bramble there, right on the ground. It's basically the same.
Close enough. I'll give
pretty
you that.
Much, yeah, the same. All right, well, we are nearing the sign pickup, of course, the first skill of the game. Pretty early on here. Below the screen, you will see a new addition here as we're getting into the first of our divisional finals. You see the best of 3 indicator, where Hydra already has credit for 1 win. Again, as Fant mentioned, because he is coming from the winner's bracket, he has not lost a game in this tournament so far, whereas Monkley did drop the race earlier in the bracket to Richard.
Boy, Hydra Also a fan of the season, gets the nice bright green Ori, so green and pink. This is art, Willigen.
That's right. It's actually kind of like an offbeat Christmas a little bit. You know, the color is slightly altered, but it's lovely. It's truly lovely. As Monkley has kind of the first real flub of the race right there, just missing that jump up onto the ledge. Not really a huge deal, just costing him about a second to reattempt that jump. But, you know, Hydra really doesn't need a lot to start running off to the races.
What was that from Monkley? He got two pickup animations right on top of each other. What?
Yeah, well, that's just one of those fun things that can sometimes happen with that jump pad. But fortunately, he's still going on, and that's all these differences in the early game here tend to wash out later on.
Yeah, but Monkley is going up against Hydra here, and so far no real flubs at all going into wall jump. Still, this is just the very, very start of the game. Still a ton left for us to see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, overall their play has both been quite clean. Hydra able to drop into the not so clean water, take his 1 damage, and take his intentional death to accomplish the ghost door glitch. Monkley doing the same, so they're continuing onwards, both picking up this 4th health. Even for Hydra, gunning for that 28 time, gunning for the world record a lot of the time here. What is happening with Hydra? What is he doing?
He's just unleashing the wrath of Ori on every living thing in the forest on the way to wall jump. Looks like he's at a nice 4 HP. Won't have to worry about any damage boost he may or may not do.
Yeah, I mean, with all the extra XP collected from those slimes, he might opt to intentionally damage boost through this wall. He checks his XP. Look how high his XP is. He does take a little bit more, and now he has to flower skip, but he usually does that anyway, so there you go. Just dropping right by that flower, saving about a second compared to Monkley bouncing on it. And there's that level up on the way in for Monkley. Hydra will get it on the way out.
Right, and with that little bit of extra time that Hydra spent killing the extra stuff, Monkley has closed a little bit of that gap that happened early on due to a couple just little minor mistakes on Monkley's end, but still only a handful of seconds separating them at wall jump. Not too bad. Not too bad, Monkley.
Yeah, we were told it was around 6 seconds back at the 4th HP. Might be slightly narrower than that, maybe more like 4 seconds. But yeah, Monkley doing well to, kind of speak for himself right here at this beginning of this game. Hydra, meanwhile, literally speaking for himself in the chat of the stream, has decided to pop in and provide some raised commentary, and he just says, "Dang it, sign." Which, I suppose that can happen sometimes.
All right, well, Monkley did not get Trojan logged. Right? Yeah.
Looked good.
I was too busy looking at Hydra's own commentary of his own match. Kind of got distracted for a little bit.
Well, it definitely looks like Monkley still has a soul, so he hasn't lost it to the Trojan log. But yeah, just again, you're seeing how clean Hydra's movement is. That he's very kind of handily maintaining this lead, even with the little spaghetti that happened a little bit earlier. He's just on his way. Got his level up on the way out of wall jump, and that is important because when he picks up this plus 15 XP here, it means that he's going for the slime genocide route. Ooh, I like that Terra save too.
Yep. Shout outs to Terra coming up with the literally free safety save that nobody else seemed to do. But Terra, just a next level gamer, knows. There's a reason everything in this game is named after Terra.
That's right. And I think this is actually the only time we've correctly used the term literally free to refer to anything in this game, because it is actually free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, no time loss. Don't have to worry about any of the energy because you're going to be getting your timed level ups inside BRB. It's great.
And speaking of which, Hydra did get his time level up from the second slime on the way in, and was able to kill a whole bunch of the slimes so far. That's part of his slime genocide XP route that many of the top runners tend to do, and some just in general KBM runners tend to like this strat. Meanwhile, Monkley is going to be going for this jump up to this.
And oh no, sorry to interrupt. Hydra fell into the spike, so a little bit of a minor time loss there, and just like that, we're practically tied.
Yeah, Monkley got a very nice opportunity to catch up from that. Hydra's cycles may be thrown off a little bit, but probably not. It's hard to explain exactly why, but there's slightly different behavior of these platforms in Black Root Burrows depending on whether you save and reload or just die. But it looks like Hydra is good. Monkley, meanwhile, didn't bother to reload, so he'll just wait for this cycle, and it kind of puts him a set number of seconds behind Hydra, basically.
Yeah, right now Monkley looks like almost exactly 1 cycle behind, and every cycle in BRB being about 8 seconds. Now there is some manipulation that both Hydra and Monkley are doing for these platforms. In the next room, there's already a cycle started. They chose to enter a very specific spot of the room at a certain time to make sure this cycle over here, but those are some movements mouse movements by Hydra
yeah,
there.
You saw why. He missed his manipulation, and so he was circling that platform to point out that he was going to miss it. So that platform manipulation is a little bit different, although Hydra knows how to do it in the case where you're doing Genocide, because he wanted to pick up the slime right near that platform in the previous room. So he did get the slime XP there, but unfortunately his manipulation was slightly too aggressive. That does put Monkley in the lead for the time being, but we're going to see. There's so many things that can change that. A missed platform cycle in BRB is not the end-all be-all.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Monkley is watching the restream or not, but having that knowledge that you are ahead of the #1 seed at the Dash Tree, that's got to be a bit of a confidence booster, because
it's a good feeling.
Monkley like the last couple days was doing several practice races versus his previous opponent, Richard. And there are a lot of 34s and 35s in there. In his race where he defeated Richard to get here today, that was just only a couple hours ago, actually. So he's really going hard at Ori here.
Well, that's got to definitely help you. If you've done a race previously the same day, it's got to at least help you feel like a little bit more confident, like have those juices flowing. You do see Hydra needs to stop on the way out too to kill 2 more slimes. Because of his XP count before he came in, so that allows Monkley to take even slightly more of a lead, but Frankie Walk is really going to be potentially a deciding factor. You also see Hydra take some damage there, and that would have been real bad if he had only 3 health, but he does have the 4th, so he should be good to go here.
Yeah, the spikes that over on Monkley's screen, you see him jumping over right now. For some reason, the left side deal 1 damage, the right side deal 2 damage. So as long as you're safe with your jump, you should be able to land on the part of the spikes that deal 1 damage. You see on Hydra's screen really quick. Perfectly okay, and he is now kind of in the clear. We'll get the level up from the Frankie as Monkley just got his level up and is entering the Death Glide. Or not the Death Glide, the Death Gauntlet.
Well, the Death Glide might be coming soon. Hydra also gets his level up, but no, Monkley is going to skip that Death Glide. You could get on top of that Crusher and jump Dash Glide up there, but he doesn't want to do that. Hydra also damage boosts the Frankie and Slime there, and he does go for a Death Glide. Very nicely executed, so good job by both Monkley and Hydra, and Monkley's okay. He's alive. Everything's fine.
Got a safety save there. Sitting at a very fine 1 HP.
Totally fine. Oh, you see those success rates come up for the Grotto cycle now as Monkley goes for his and gets it very barely, and Hydra goes for his and he does not. So another 8 seconds of time gained by Monkley effectively there, and it's going to open that gap slightly more.
Yeah, so Monkley, really having a great run so far. Really no major mistakes outside of those little tiny inoptimal jumps going down to sign and coming out of there. But this is a pretty solid double jump shot time for Monkley here.
Yeah, anything in the in the mid-9 range you're going to be very happy with, but 930 is great. And Hydra is not far behind, even having missed that Grotto cycle. You see how scary of an opponent he is as he comes in with a 938, so that's around only 10 seconds really, and with that PB difference, that Hydra can make that up. Yeah, if neither Hydra or Monkley make mistakes, you'll just see Hydra somehow close the gap without really doing anything, and that was really scary for Hydra. On both sides, Monkley getting hit by a spider shot somehow, and just flubbed a Dash Glide probably, and Hydra also jumping into the spikes, so it does look like movement's catching him up a little bit as Monkley misses his first Grotto skip, gets its second try. But these are some scary moments for both runners, and a first try for Hydra, very nice. Well, good improvement from Monkley there. In his race versus Richard earlier, he got a 3rd try. This time he got a 2nd try. So if Monkley pushes this to kind of a game 3, another game, he's going to get that first try Grotto skip for sure, guaranteed. Yeah, we're incrementally and one. Oh no! Oh no! Well, there's the lead change. Hydra has got incredibly clean movement going up that wall, and he just manages to overtake Monkley there. Yep, that was a really costly fall. Well, relatively a really costly fall from Monkley. It was only a couple of seconds. When you're facing Hydra, that's all he needed to come back into this. Yeah, given that small deficit, you know, really anything can change it. And still, I mean, even though Hydra's in the lead, and Hydra, of course, is presumed to be the better player, anything that happens to him could easily shift it back to Monkley for now.
I'm still honestly surprised how close this is. Monkley's doing a good job of really staying in this. I'm not sure if Hydra's watching the restream or not, but if he is, Monkley's keeping him honest. No memes are going to come out from Hydra as long as he's this close.
Yeah, that's right. He will. I mean, Hydra definitely was already planning to you know, play seriously and bring everything he could. We saw him practicing Crazy Juggle earlier, which is the strat he uses in his PB attempts, and he does not intend to shy away from anything here. So you see him now skipping this ability cell that Monkley's going for. He wanted to also be able to get this optimal cycle here on these crushers, but he couldn't quite pull it off, so he's just going to make sure he doesn't die. That's really the key thing.
Yep, so he's down to 2 HP. Should be fine as long as he doesn't face plant into another one of these clusters. He's going to take a damage boost here, and he's going to place a save at the top to skip this little cutscene, and he'll be back at 2 HP and Trinken, so definitely comfortable for a runner like Hydra.
Yeah, and if this is one of your first time seeing an Ori run, you're going to see that technique a lot, where a runner will put down a save, and then as they're running into a cutscene trigger, they will refresh it by using the Rekindle ability, and that will allow them to skip the cutscene, which is used just a ton of times throughout the run. So there's one example right there. Hydra now entering the Ginso tree. Monkley still pretty close behind him, but it's a little bit, you know, kind of slightly widening as we're going, just because of Hydra's like low. Oh well. All right.
Well, just like that, we're back to being exactly tied, and just like that, Hydra has just edged another small lead.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's. I mean, you want to call that a commentator's curse, but like Hydra just immediately caught up, except there, taking some damage. He's now down to 1 health. I'm not even sure he knew that he was at 4 to be able to do that damage boost, but he did manage to pull it off. So he's slightly behind now, and unfortunately there's not really an option to catch up in this room. So we'll just see him probably make it up on the mini-boss, right?
Right. So Hydra, one of the very few people in the tournament, I think the only other one being Ronnie, and I guess Elo to an extent, getting the 4-cycle mini-boss inside Ginso. It is incredibly difficult to do. By no means free for anybody. Yeah, we'll see what Hydra can do here.
Especially because there's an element of randomness to it, as you have to hope you get good spawns that you're able to get all 10 shots on. Those looked like 2 good 10-shot cycles from Hydra. There's another one. He just needs 1 more.
And...
oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Monkley, meanwhile, is taking even an extra cycle, so that's incredible for Hydra. 6 cycle for Monkley, 4 cycle for Hydra, and he opens up a lead again over Monkley. My goodness.
Wow. Now, Hydra is sitting currently at 1 HP, so didn't opt to do a safety save because he needs to manipulate his HP to die really fast with this ghost door. So barring anything catastrophic, there it is, there's the save. The quick ghost door. He's made it to Bash.
Yeah, very nicely executed. You can basically, if you have 4 HP, there's one of 2 ways to do that. Hydra had 1 HP left out of his 4, so that was the way he had to do it. I believe Monkley was able to throw down a save to be at 3 HP intentionally and take a damage boost along the way.
Right. And no, Monkley still very close to Hydra, and Hydra can be putting this really KVM exclusive trick really to use, double bashes. He's going to take all of these, well, that shot specifically. I have no idea where I'm going with this.
I don't know. Double bashes happen. It's all good. Sometimes I've seen him use a double bash here too on this setup for this upper platform save, but he doesn't opt to do one here. No problem. He's still very fast. Monkley doing the same setup. He does use a double bash there, and it's basically just a really precise trick that is potentially time saving in some places. Wow, Monkley barely saving that fan.
Yeah, he was almost outside of the bash range of that lantern. Thankfully got it, avoiding a death. So Hydra did get his key dupe successfully, his hyperspeed successfully, and Monkley also first try on the key dupe, just slightly slower than Hydra there, but looks like a good hyperspeed setup from Monkley. Has to take 2 damage hits because he didn't do that damage boost. But he is entering the mini-boss right as Hydra is leaving it, still incredibly close. Now, Hydra is heading on to Swamp Entry. This is something he was practicing heavily before the race. Thought his timing was a little bit off, made some last-minute adjustments. We'll see how he handles it here today.
Yeah, we're certainly hoping, that Hydra is able to get over. kind of whatever trouble he was having it with it before. But we'll see. This is always a difficult trick. Even if you feel good about this trick, it can easily come out of nowhere and kind of bite you. A lot of very precise bash angles involved here. Hydra does have a very good success rate on this. I think he was trying to skip this cutscene here.
He was, based on those mouse movements.
This isn't the worst thing in the world, fan. It just means there will be lasers later. This only loses you about 1 second anyway.
Yeah, 1 second and the potential risk later on of running into that laser if you forget about it. But here it is. Swamp entry for Hydra. So far, it looks pretty clean.
He didn't manage to get a safety save off a minute ago, but that seems to be okay. He's getting his double bashes properly, picks up the ability cell, and is in very cleanly. Made it look easy. Monkley, meanwhile, is coming right behind him. He's got the frog in position. He's got the first ground broken. He is going to go for his double bashes and does not get the ability cell. Wow, that shot phased through the top of the thing and went back down to break it. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, those frog shots, they move so fast, they just 1 frame later are on the other side of the very, very thin hitbox. I have no idea how this works.
Magic, dude.
The frogs, they have interdimensional properties. Not just that, they're capable of a whole bunch of really crazy stuff.
Yeah, frogs are magical in this game. We use them for quite a lot of things. Now a high 5 for the 2 runners as Monkley is heading into the Swamp Tree, Stomp Tree in Swamp. Hydra is heading out, and hopefully he's going to remember that he's got lasers, fans.
Yeah, Monkley managed to get the successful blind movement and rekindle, so does not have to worry about saves. But Hydra, he usually goes for...
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
It's fine. Everything's all right. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, anyway, Hydra usually does the blind movement to despawn that laser. And that jump, just barely getting into that ability cell.
Yeah. That was a save. Here we go. There's the laser.
Oh,
no, he takes death. He's all the way back at the swamp exit, and Monkley is now in the lead by a few small seconds, man.
Right, and Hydra's going to have to do that movement again to get, once again, up to that ability cell. Hydra, he's so used to doing the...
Holy crap! He survived barely, and now he's still right behind Monkley, who's going for the Kuro cutscene skip and sees an angry bird, and he's going to watch it, and Hydra passes him with the Kuro cutscene skip. That's going to save about 17 seconds, man.
And that is a non-trivial amount of seconds going up against somebody like Hydra. Man, I cannot believe Hydra survived that laser once again. The hitboxes and the graphics don't necessarily line up 100% of the time, so you get into a really spooky situation like that, come out unscathed.
Yeah, that was something. Those lasers do despawn that is to say, they become inactive very slightly before the graphic disappears, so Hydra managing to salvage that. And he also does manage to get his Frankie to chase him down to charge flames, so really good movement from him after that skip as well. And he's just playing really, really solidly overall, with only that, that 1 laser death really causing a problem so far.
Right. Yeah, when you don't practice that specifically because you do another strat, it kind of throws you off a little bit. And when you're not used to it, you're not necessarily in tune with when you need to make the right jumps and all that. So understandable death, but Hydra makes it look like it's nothing. Gets Kuro cutscene skip and now has another little sizable lead over Monkley.
Yeah, and we're heading into Valley now, of course, which is the beginning of the hardest parts of the game, and it really does not stop from this point. This is, the remaining 10 to 12 minutes are just absolutely the hardest part of this run. And it's not like the beginning parts were easy, fan. They were pretty challenging. Ooh, some trouble with the bird from Monkley.
And Hydra, oh gosh, gets the backup fish strats to get out of the poison water. Wow, what a save from Hydra. And Hydra, does he do the early charge dash? It doesn't look like
No,
it.
not anymore. Okay. He did used to do that, but it doesn't really save that much time, and he does crazy juggle and some other reasons. I'm sure there's, overall a good plan on why he does that. But in any case, Fast Stompless, his shot looked very solid. He's waiting for that to go, break some rocks off in the distance while he collects this ability cell, and he gets warped into the cutscene very cleanly. Monkley will now begin this trick just as Hydra gets it. He's only 57% on this trick in the tournament, having some misses on multiple misses, in fact, on some of his races.
Yeah, that shot, he grabbed it pretty low to the ground, and from that side, I have no idea how the angles work, but yeah, he
unfortunately, he
face plants into the spike. Monkley is sitting at 1 HP, I think.
That's correct.
And he's opting to just go for it, the intended stompless.
Yep.
Well, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Stompful.
The intended stomp, aka stompful.
I guess theoretically you could find like some projectile to like throw at this, but unfortunately Wilhelm the Frog's not here yet. In any case, he'll learn Charge Dash, break the
and
rocks,
Hydra took a death in Sorrowbat.
Oh, wow. Oh, and he flubs the rocket jump here, so that's going to put him low on energy as he enters his second attempt at Sarbash, that is. So Monkley, you know, still being a fair bit behind, but Hydra giving him a slight amount of room to catch up. But this attempt looks very good.
That was really close.
And he is into Sorrow Pass now.
Yeah, if Hydra wants to get back up to his energy count that he is used to, there is an extra crystal here. I think with the Crazy Juggle route, he should be... Well, he's getting it. All right, so sitting at 3 energy, and now Crazy Juggle for Hydra. This is why he skipped that ability cell early on in the game. This is, well,
it is incredibly complex, man. This is a very difficult trick where he damages the frog unintentionally. Unfortunately, if you do that, you cannot continue the trick. Monkley is going to be beginning his Sarbash soon. The idea here is you bash. Oh, that's very, very bad. The idea is you bash the frog upwards, and then you charge dash at it to go quickly towards it. Hydra is... What is he doing? What are you doing, Hydra? He's gonna take the rock, fans.
Oh man, this is great. So, what this is going to do is Hydra is gonna take this rock up. I think he's gonna set it up next to the chimney that he's gonna use to get to Sunstone, and then charge jump off of it in order to break the ceiling. And oh, he takes a death, and he's all the way back down to Sorrowbat.
That actually might be the best possible thing for him. It puts Monkley in the lead right now. However, if Hydra gets back in and is able to do his normal strats, he'll be a lot more comfortable, most likely. So here we go with his Sarbash attempt again, and once again, that is textbook. Looks beautiful. Monkley's into the charge jump tree, but Hydra will be coming up again soon, and he's going to start work on his second charge Crazy Juggle. Something with a C in it.
All right, well, here we go. Round number 2 for Hydra. Monkley picks up charge dash or charge jump. So far, so good. Just a little bit more, and he is through.
My God, the nerves of Hydra to go with the Crazy Juggle, continuing through those wooden platforms. Those can easily ruin your juggle attempt, and he manages to continue through anyway. Monkley is now terror breaking his way up to the Sunstone, so the lead is going to be a little bit unclear for just a few moments because Hydra is going to be at the Sunstone, Monkley will be right there, but then Hydra needs to detour to charge jump before he leaves Sorrow Pass, whereas Monkley will just be heading straight to Misty.
Yeah, so Monkley will be entering Misty with a little bit of a lead over Hydra. And man, this is a crazy race. I did not expect to see something like this far in. I'm really excited, and I'm really hoping Monkley can push it to another game.
I would be floored if he were able to pull it off, but you know, this is like part of Hydra's advantage is because he has that 1 game advantage. He knows he can play like up to his, you know, max strats, everything that he's capable of doing, and he can just keep going. Monkley, did he take a death on the way out?
No, he got the what is it? The plant XP orb.
Okay, I must have just been on bar.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. I'm good.
He's good. He died. The only that Monkley had it. Sorry, he had trouble with the Sarbash the first time. Got it second try, but yeah, there it is. Monkley inside Misty Woods. Hydra close behind.
Yeah, Hydra is going to be absolutely burning rubber in order to get through here as quickly as possible, as he knows. Even if he's not watching the race, he knows he messed up Crazy Juggle the one time, he messed up the Frog Juggle back up. He's got a dangerous situation here, and he can't let this get away from him any more than it already has, or his opponent will win. If he is able to recover here, though, his late game is so ludicrously strong, he may be able to catch up to Monkley and take the win.
Right, and earlier today in Monkley's race versus Richard, he did have a little bit of trouble after the climb tree into Light Grenade, into Horror itself. Like, Horu through the end was very, very clean, but still, you know, we'll have to see if he manages to recover from that and put up a clean performance through the end of the game, because he's going to need it.
Yeah,
Hydra
really
is right on his heels.
Yeah, they had a deficit of 11 seconds entering Misty Woods. This right now is not 11 seconds, man. It's closer than that. Hydra is, look at that. He is coming in as Monkley is still finishing up the tree animation. It's an 8-second animation, and Hydra enters it before Monkley leaves.
Yeah, and Monkley's really made no major mistakes or anything. It's just Hydra has such like optimized movements. He's able to close that gap, and it looks like he's not doing anything special. But believe me, he is.
Yeah, this is how you can tell just how strong those top runners in this game are. They're just absolutely...
And oh no, Hydra takes a death in his back.
Oh wow, that's a very costly death, and even, you know, his extra skill level is really not going to make that much less costly than it is. Monkley is continuing to plow forth through Misty. No safety saves from either of them pretty much at all.
And oh wow! Monkley.
Oh my goodness, he is still alive, 1 HP. I guarantee you we're seeing a safety save now. There's no way he doesn't. This is too scary.
There it is. All right.
Oh boy, and he's rekindling it, which... in any other situation, I'd say, like, yeah, of course you rekindle that. But right now, Hydra's right behind him. That's really some time that, honestly, you gotta take every second you have, fan.
Yeah, I'm not sure Monkley realizes how close this race is. But, you know, again, earlier on in the race, and oh, Hydra is sitting at 1 HP, makes it through the meatball strats safely. He has guts.
Oh, Monkley having some... the mini-boss here, he was having some... this against Richard as well, and Hydra's able to get a clean quick kill, so Hydra takes the lead once again, but Monkley kills the mini-boss right after him, fan.
This is now seconds apart. Hydra amazingly pulled back the lead. Just a little bit of trouble there from Monkley on the mini-boss is all it took. Wow, I cannot believe. And, oh, that was just 1 HP, he's fine, but... actually, no, he's not fine. Spike's still doing damage.
Yeah, that's super fine, but it's alright. He'll be able to make it out of Misty now, as long as he doesn't do anything particularly catastrophic. But Hydra is already across the gap here, having a little bit of spaghetti, so allowing Monkley to get those few moments and catch up to him on the teleport animation. And Hydra's setting up his long save anywhere here. I love this.
I'm just sitting here with my mouth open at the status of this race. I cannot believe what we're seeing. Monkley still has a chance to take out Hydra here, and yeah, Hydra doing the crazy save anywhere, all the way from the Spirit Well.
Yeah, it turns out you can actually set up this menu storage off of a regular menu too. It's just no one does it. There's no reason.
Well, Hydra does it.
Hydra does it. there's some reason for Hydra to do it, but it's pretty good. But this actually will save him a small amount of time when Monkley gets to the cutscene trigger and has to make a save there. Oh, but some trouble with the dash glide for Hydra, and Monkley's over and gets the cutscene skip.
And just like that, Monkley has edged out just a fraction of a second lead. This is unbelievable.
Oh my goodness, and Monkley able to throw some charge dashes, but they're both having trouble falling to the tree, and Hydra takes the lead by 1.5 seconds.
Bullshit, I'm losing my mind, literally. I don't know how much longer I can go on.
My brain is falling out of my ears, dude, but that's alright, because this is...
oh, and just like that, Hydra... oh, he was setting up for a grenade jump, and he gets it.
But he doesn't quite get the slow zone skip there, so he still doesn't save that much time compared to Monkley. And now they're both waiting on the laser, and they get the same laser. They're synced, dude.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Monkley has to get out there.
Oh my goodness. Hydra getting a charge dash in the wrong direction.
And now Monkley does have the lead.
Oh my goodness, so they're both... oh, Hydra's going the top route, Monkley's going the bottom. They're effectively the same speed. They're going to the teleports at the same time.
Unbelievable, Vulijin. What is this race?
Can I just take a second, fan? I'm so impressed by Monkley here. He is obviously the underdog in this race. Hydra with effectively everything to lose, except Monkley's just keeping up. And what is going on for Hydra right now? He's
Hydra's trying to do a grenade, but he's not getting it, and that's just giving Monkley an advantage. Now Monkley going for 5 HP. He went for 6 HP in his race versus Richard. I mean, someone with a PB of Monkley, or that Monkley has, is definitely more than capable of doing. And oh no, Monkley runs right into the Baneling.
That is such a large time loss, and the only thing that could offset that is if Hydra has more problems with grenade jumps, but he's just... He didn't do that previous one. There he is. He's able to get the one to the Mount Horu door. So now this is a huge advantage for Hydra as he is entering Mount Horu well ahead of Monkley.
Yeah, Hydra's going to have some serious trouble with door warp, the grenade jump, or the escape itself. Really, in order for Monkley to come back from this. This is not going to be easy by any means. Here we go. Hydra, first try door warp.
Easy.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised at all. That's incredible. Of course, always given the stakes, given the pressure, to be able to pull off that frame perfect input is incredibly difficult. We'll see if Monkley can pull it off, as you know, Monkley's PB just now vanishing into the distance. Hydra's long to go, but that doesn't matter right now.
First try door from Monkley. He's keeping it alive.
What matters is this escape, fans. Here we go with the Hydra.
Hydra.
He's alive. He's alive, barely, fan. What is happening here?
So Hydra, and he's... Oh man.
These are some very, very scary moments. Little bit of flubs on his charge dashes, getting to these lanterns. Monkley has an opportunity here. Hydra going with 5 HP. Monkley going for 5 HP. This swim. Oh!
He didn't get the stomp.
He's not going to survive. I
This is
cannot
going to be
believe
a death for Hydra, and now Monkley has the lead. A clean escape from Monkley, and he will be able to take this. He is down to the poison water. This is where Hydra died. If he gets the stomp, if he gets the fish manipulation, he can do this.
Those fish look good. He's going to be able to bash the first one, the second one, his last.
He's out. He's through.
Through the water. He just needs to get a grenade jump, and he will win this race. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. One more grenade jump from Monkley. He has enough time to do it. Here it is, and it is a first try for Monkley. He is pushing this to another game. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. What an upset, dude. As Hydra's coming in for his grenade jump as well, he makes sure to not bash into the wall. He gets his first try. He's in there, but not enough to defeat Monkley, as Monkley is going to force a deciding Game 3.
I am speechless. Literally, the hairs on the back of my neck are sticking up. Literally, Wooljan can look at it to confirm if he so chooses, but I'm not going to let him do that.
Oh my goodness, I can see it. It's too late.
This is... What just happened? Oh, man.
Yeah, wow, look at these finishes. Look at Monkley coming in to the finish line as Hydra is right behind him. It's a difference of 12 seconds at most, or maybe it was 11. It's a 32-23 for Monkley. Hydra knows he lost. He opts to throw in some swag Naru hops, and he comes in with a 32-38. GG to Monkley. We will be getting the bracket reset, and he will be going to deciding Game 3 against his opponent, Hydra, the #1 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, I know. I do want to mention, like, we're calling this a best of 3. Monkley has not faced Hydra until this moment, so as far as just these two runners concerned, Monkley has a victory, Hydra does not, but the way the bracket format works out, Hydra does have to be defeated twice in order to be knocked out of the tournament.
Correct. So, wow.
Somebody help.
I don't even know what to say. That was such incredible by Monkley for the entire race, being able to stay with Hydra from start to finish, at times having the lead, but even the times that he did not have the lead, able to just stay in there, not make the major mistakes that would have cost him the race here. And Hydra really just had 2 or 3 big ones the entire time, and that was enough for Monkley to be able to claw his way in.
Yeah, I wonder, going into the next game, if Hydra is going to change anything up, maybe throw in extra safety saves where he normally wouldn't, maybe just opt not to worry about crazy juggle. That was a big time loss for Hydra there. He's certainly capable of doing the standard Terror Break route for sure. So, but Hydra is crazy enough to just go for everything literally all the time. And really, if he just plays a little bit of a cleaner game, he will be able to take it. But, Monkley still finished 2 minutes after his PB, but still really, really close and has an opportunity to put up a better time himself.
Yeah, I mean, both runners really, really played well. I definitely expect we'll see a little more safety from Hydra. That's I tried to allude to this while the insane things were going on during this race, but part of the advantage of coming in with that 1-0 advantage from being in the winner's bracket is you can kind of decide the pace by saying, you know what, I'm going to go for everything. And if you get everything, there's no way your opponent's keeping up. If you don't get everything, if you have some problems like Hydra had in this race, you might take a loss, but he's still got a second chance here. And in the second race, he can, play it a little safer and basically just say, sorry, but you're not even going to have a chance to keep up with me because I'm going to make sure I'm locked in everywhere.
All right. Well, that was an amazing Game 1. Shortly, we're going to be setting up for Game 2, but we're going to take a quick break, reset our heart rates, get them down a little bit. Maybe let these guys grab a drink of water, calm down a little bit, because, wow, I'd be a nervous wreck after this race.
I'm already a nervous wreck, but I'm really looking forward to this next deciding game. But yeah, so stick around, guys. We're going to let the runners relax, and then we will be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
going for it. This guy's going man mode.
Look at my goodness. Wow.
No, can he make it? He did.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Monkley's turn. That spot. Oh my gosh.
Richard! Oh my god! Oh, he died! Dead! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well. This is literally synced in the finals here.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We have more action with the upper division finals of the... That's not what those are called at all, is it?
No, you have no idea. Well, no, we're a little bit on the fritz here after what we just witnessed.
Nothing at all happened here. It's not like we knocked a drink all over my desk because we're so hyped about this race. That definitely did not happen. Everything is completely fine. These are the division finals of the Ream division. Not the division that we're looking at right now, but we'll get there. We've got Hydra still versus Monkley still. They've got a second game coming up, and this one is the deciding game.
Right, so, as we said before, Hydra entering the winner's bracket from the top, or entering the division finals from the top, only needed to win one game, while Monkley had to win two. Well, Monkley seemingly doing the impossible, taking a game off of the #1 seed, Hydra. We were seeing some friendly banter between the two right before this, like during the little break that we had. Maybe Monkley got his beers or not, I'm not sure. He was talking about it. Could be possible. But, Hydra says he is now warmed up, defrosted, ready to go. And Monkley, well, he's ready to put up a fight. He wants to get a better time than he did just in the previous race. And if we draw like a line from Monkley's runs so far today, he got like a 33-30-ish in his race versus Richard. Got like around a little over a 32 this time. So if you extrapolate that down, that means this race, Monkley's going to be putting up a low 31 for sure. And now, shortly, as we get things set up over on our end, we are going to kick things off. But before then, let's see. I'm looking for Monkley if he's throwing any kind words to Hydra. I know they've got to be going back and forth after that race.
Kind words? You expect there to be kind words?
Yeah. No, these are two friends. They're
maybe in kind words. I've seen the fighting emoji from Monkley, and of course Hydra, expressing his interest in making sure that he wins. I've seen the comments that you mentioned about he's fired up, he's ready to go. I don't expect we're going to see a whole lot of friendly, everything's all good, at least until after the race ends.
Yeah, one thing I'm looking forward to in this match is to see how both Hydra and Monkley either choose to adapt their play or don't adapt it at all, based on their performance in the last race. I know we saw Hydra go for crazy juggle, an insanely difficult trick, and it really cost him a ton of time. And Monkley also made a couple adaptations just from his race versus Richard earlier today. Rekindling saves where he didn't before, like catching some of the big mistakes that gave him a worse time there. So maybe Hydra will choose to throw in some safety saves where he normally wouldn't. Maybe he'll go for the terror break route instead, or the type of person Hydra is, just going to go for everything once again.
No strat changes. That's certainly possible. It's also certainly possible, as we are getting started, certainly possible that Hydra does a little bit of safety. He says, okay, I'm going to crazy juggle, but I'll throw in a save here and there. That could be what we see. Maybe we'll just see Hydra beast out another 28. It's so hard to say. But we're underway now, and both runners are heading down into this good old familiar section of the Sunken Glades that we all know and love so much.
Yep, I wouldn't expect to see much difference here. Maybe Monkley will make a couple better jumps than he did last time. That gave Hydra very, very slightly early on. Maybe we'll see a repeat because history repeating itself. But for Monkley, that'd be a good thing to occur because that would lead him to a second win.
Well, that would be a heck of an upset to be able to, as the number 17 seed, take out the number 1, very, very highly ranked number 1 seed. It's not like he didn't take place first by a small amount. He placed first by a pretty significant amount of time, considering the time that he got. So, as we go here, it's going to be really interesting to see how it turns out.
All right, so Monkley already having a better Frankie fight than before. We're practically tied coming out of it. This is amazing. What a race.
We'll see how this Rhino, the whole jump formed by the Rhino there, he does get it this time, so not bad. But he misses the frame perfect jump while Hydra gets that, which is...
So to the surprise of, well, not many people.
No, I'm totally surprised. I'm shocked. This time, Hydra gets the slide troll on the jump pad, and Monkley gets it cleanly.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness.
So if anybody was thinking we're just going to replay the last race because everybody else is off doing something, well, there you go. Things are different.
Ooh, Hydra having a slight bit of trouble grabbing that block there and waving his mouse around frantically. Now, in the language of mouse movements, the ooh sound which Hydra expressed there usually refers to being upset or not being upset, really kind of just anything.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in the language of mouse movements since I personally do not play on KVM, but it seems pretty complicated, and maybe one of these days I'll try and learn the language myself.
Well, we picked up our 4th health. We are continuing on here. Both of us commentators, much like the runners, are still kind of previous race. We're just trying to how do we get our energy level back down to a reasonable level? Because this beginning of this game, it's still pretty, tame pace. We can kind of just go along, things will happen, everything will be all right. But again, near the end of this game, it's going to ramp up to 11 or 12 or higher. Who knows, dude?
All right, well, once again, Hydra showing the kind of player he is, just edging out a couple second lead on the way to wall jump, despite seemingly doing nothing out of the ordinary. Monkley, once again, gets the level up on the way down, so the exact same XP routes between them. Hydra placing a safety save there. This is a very risky part of the run between that save and the slow walk over to wall jump.
That's right. You might fall asleep, and I mean, you can't die, but you might fall asleep. That'd be real rough. But fortunately, Hydra manages to stay awake all the way to the tree, so no problem. Yeah, that save is just swag. Hydra really likes how if you save in this area, it makes ripples through the water. It's a really cool effect. Otherwise, there's no...
Oh yeah, there it is again. Look, he's even highlighting it for us.
Oh, goodness. This is one of my favorite things about this tournament, is just seeing all the personality of the various different runners and how they approach the game. And in Hydra's case, he's just having a great time, even though...
And oh no, Hydra fell... Didn't he fall down before last time?
I don't recall if he did last time, but yeah, he certainly does this time. And he's... it's not really that big a deal. He's probably not panicking over it. He's got really plenty of confidence to spare here.
Yeah, but Monkley, they're separated by almost the same distance as they were last time in the last race, and now Monkley pulling a little bit ahead on the way to Dash.
Yeah, and we'll see how this lasts. Unfortunately for Hydra, he doesn't have that save already there to say hello to him on his way back. He had to, kind of go it alone until he dropped another. But, fortunately he was able to, kind of, just push through that emotional loss.
Yeah, Hydra did take a damage from the slime there. So we'll see. Yeah, he's going to be entering BRB with 2 HP. This is fine, but you won't have the luxury of flubbing a jump in the spike pit at the bottom. So maybe he'll take it a little bit more careful. Who knows? Yeah,
he'll probably be fine. Monkley, meanwhile, circled the fact that he only has, that he has 38 XP left to level, which it should be fine. But maybe he is only going for 2 slimes. Maybe he's going for all 3. I don't know. He was indicating something, but it's lost on me at the moment. But that's all right. He should be fine to kill all 3 slimes if he wants to do that without having any problems with his level up.
Yep, just a little bit slow on the cycle there for Monkley, and this is once again where you're going to see the difference between Slime Genocide and the more standard route that Monkley's doing. Hydra heading straight to the Ghost Door. Not the Ghost Door. Well, it's kind of ghostly in its properties, where it's kind of there and then kind of not.
Ooh, taking some damage, Fan, as he Needs to be a little bit more careful now. Looks like he should be good on this cycle still. He just needs to go as quickly as he can, and the platforms are right there, and he's good. Meanwhile, Monkley, of course, not going for the reload, so he'll get the same cycle as he did last time, and the deficit is pretty much exactly as it was last race.
Pretty much a little bit more than one platform cycle apart. And now Hydra. What is he telling us?
I don't know. He's
Can you please translate?
Unfortunately, it's hard to tell because the language of mouse movements is heavily context sensitive, and it's hard to tell what the context is really.
I know you're a big proponent of the slime genocide strat, so you should know this. You know the context.
I'm not sure that I would use the word proponent really. More like I'm just aware how to do it, but it's not too crazy of a thing to do. Hydra missing his manipulation again, which is really interesting. This is the second time. And, maybe it's getting in his head a little bit. I would be really surprised if it was. But it seems like, maybe he has some sort of thing going on where he's not quite 100% on that cycle. In any case, Monkley will be coming in slightly ahead, literally the same as last race. It really does kind of seem like we have sort of replayed the same race again.
Oh, and Monkley highlighting his 2 experience. He's happy with that. He's going to get an extremely fast level up at the Frankie Walk here.
Yeah, he'll actually save a fair number of frames over. It does, I believe, if I caught the XP count correctly for Hydra, he will have to kill 2 slimes on the way out.
All right, well...
only one. I'm just kidding. Thanks to Sigma in the truck.
Well, both runners are on better pace than they were last run. So, same deficit, but they're both playing better. And Hydra, once again, is that just something he normally goes for, just dashing right through that slime, taking the hit?
I think he goes for a very aggressive dash glide, where he dash glides right over it, and it's just highly likely to take that damage. And he does have the HP to spare, so it makes a little sense. At the dash tree, their deficit was 2 entire seconds, and as you see here, a decent chance that it stays roughly that. Monkley, however, not getting the optimal Frankie walk here. This frog will take 1 extra jump for him at the end here. You'll see him bonk on the ceiling, whereas Hydra's does not. So now they are literally tied. That is a 2-second save.
Yeah, Monkley was pretty much exactly 1 Frankie jump ahead. And now, well, all tied up, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, Hydra should pull a little bit ahead here, doing the death glide. He gets it. Monkley going for the standard and much safer strat of just spamming through those spores or brambles or
things,
whatever. Yeah,
the pink
things that
are not Ori,
but fit the spring season, as we mentioned last time.
That's right. All right, so Monkley coming in with a lovely 4 HP here, but they're both going to do their early Grotto cycle. Hydra's attempt first, he gets good movement, he's in. Monkley's attempt second, he does not get it. So
a reversal.
Finally, the race actually is slightly different from the previous one. Oh my goodness.
Hydra has done his damage boost, so Monkley is going to have to take a hit off of both of these crushers. 1 damage on that one, and 2 in this little spike pit there, and he is down to his 1 HP. And Hydra, so far, no issues. Okay, alright. Monkley is safely through the ghost door, and he's going to hit the double jump tree just a little bit before Monkley does.
Yeah, a slight improvement for Monkley on that. Wow. That was terrifying, yeah. A slight improvement for Monkley on that ghost door there as he managed to catch the spider shot barely as it was about to hit the ground. And that.
And oh
boy! He has not safely dropped a save yet. There it is, finally. Okay, whew.
And also rip Rocky.
Yeah, that guy sucks. Now Hydra's got 3 HP back, and he'll be continuing the energy. So he manages not to have a a catastrophic situation develop there. So we keep that lead over Monkley, and now we'll see how the Grotto skips go for both runners.
First try once again for Hydra. Now Monkley had 3 earlier today, 2 in the last race. That means he's going to get 1 here for sure. And
just kidding. Lol.
Oh man.
This trick is such a bear. It's so easy to have problems with this, even though it's really not that, what's the word? Someone earlier described it as kind of unassuming as a trick, but actually it's very easy to have problems with it. So Monkley just having little bits of issues, but he's still able to keep basically a similar distance behind Hydra as before.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff in this game where it doesn't look particularly impressive. For example, this climb that both Monkley and Hydra did. right here. And oh, on Monkley's screen, he did not get the rekindle and have to waste some number of seconds. In seconds, I don't know exactly how much this is.
I don't remember. Back in vanilla, it's a non-trivial number of seconds. It really kind of sucks, but he does make it through. He's not super far behind, but because of this, it looks like less than it is because of that little Gumo cutscene he's about to see momentarily. And also gets a bad dash line to that, so that's kind of just another few moments of time lost as Hydra is just trucking along, continuing up to this spot, and he'll be making his way to the early cycle that he attempted to get last time. Ooh, that was a very interesting dash glide too.
Right,
or
and
dash glide.
Looks like he's once again going to be going for Crazy Juggle because he is skipping that ability cell at the top of that tree that Monkley will be getting to perform Terror Break. So he's determined. He's going for everything. And wow, Hydra misses the cycle, fails to grab onto the bullet, and will have to push it in instead of pulling it out. This is slightly slower, but not catastrophic by any means.
Yeah, he just had trouble with the what they call the God cycle on that spinner section. Then he also had trouble with even the normal cycle, so he did have to push the rock in. But fortunately, he's still maintaining that lead over Monkley. He's not really going for a PB here. I'm sure Hydra would love to get a PB any old time, but this is a race. His goal is to win, and he's doing well for himself so far. But just needs to keep going along and not making major mistakes here or there.
Yeah, he had a little bit of trouble in the Genso tree in the gamer room. We'll see if it gets sniped, but he's through okay, placing that safety save. One of the few free safety saves that you can place in the Genso tree. And oh wow, once again, dashes and Hydra takes a death.
Wow. Okay, so going all the way back to the beginning, where the heck is? Oh, he saved, but the camera glitched and he has to reload. Monkley is getting all this free time.
And it's still messed up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, he placed another save. That's one way to fix it, is placing a save will reset the camera to wherever you are. So what this means is Hydra will either have to get a crystal or just opt for no more saves through the rest of Genso, really. Well, the first half of Genso through the Bash tree. Well, there it is. He placed it again.
Yeah, he's throwing one more down. He's going for this the bottom route that he normally goes for. So, missing the movement, taking another death. This is very costly for Hydra right now. And Monkley is taking full advantage. And what the heck was that dash ramp? Whatever, doesn't matter. Hydra's continuing on, and Monkley's just waiting for these shot cyclists. But they're going to be in the same room for a brief moment. But it's more of a deficit than it looks like.
Yeah, no. Monkley is on his way out of the room as Hydra is at the end. There's really not much you can do to speed this up. You can move the little redirector slightly, but really just fractions of a second you're talking about here. So Monkley is going to be finishing up against a mini-boss around the same time Hydra enters.
Yeah, he looks like he'll pull off a good 5 side. Oh, just kidding.
Narrowly missing it. And dies for the first attempt. He is sitting at 2 HP, and because of that, he's going to have to be very careful in the next couple of rooms.
That's really the unfortunate thing about entering this mini-boss on low health, is that it's so easy to just accidentally walk into the spikes or something. Getting a little bit trolled there, but this is still a 5 cycle for him. He had good pace for a 4 cycle, but couldn't quite pull it off this time. Imagine, the God Hydra descending to the realm of men and pulling off only a 5 cycle.
Okay, Monkley pulled off the ghost door, is now at Bashed. Hydra got the energy there. We'll see if he... Okay, he's not going to place a save here. Not going to grab the health either. Oh, he must have gotten the health and I didn't see it, but...
All right, it's that way, yeah.
He's in good shape. And now, really, despite all that, he's not that far behind Monkley.
Yeah, I think you're going to see more of that as we go along, that, Hydra's play, again, is just so clean everywhere that even when he has some mistakes, he's going to be able to catch up bit by bit to Monkley. So if he doesn't make any further mistakes the entire rest of the race, he'll probably still catch up. This is not a whole lot of an advantage for Monkley right now.
Yeah, only 15 seconds as of the Bash tree. And as we saw in the last race, this can go anywhere depending on what happens next.
Yeah, that is absolutely for sure. As Monkley is taking his Keystone Duplication death from the top platform, Hydra looks like he is entering his Keystone Duplication. And you see just that, look at that aggressive movement by Hydra. I mean, that's his normal movement, but it just looks like so aggressive and fast. And that's really, one of those differences between the, runners with 30s and runners with 28s.
Yeah, Monkley missed one of the bashes there. Very, very minor, but still, if Hydra continues to just execute everything here perfectly, before you know it, he's going to be tied with Monkley once again.
Yeah, but both runners now, they're pretty much at the same point. Hydra is just waiting for the door to open to join Monkley in the teleport animation heading back to Swamp. And there it is. That is a less than 10-second deficit right now. The teleport animation being the 10-second indicator there. So Swamp entry could easily be a difference maker here. It wasn't really last time. Both runners pulled it off really well. We'll see how it goes.
Right. And Hydra missed the save and reload on the laser cycle, and that led to a death for him later on. That was pretty critical. Monkley gets his rekindle successfully, and Hydra looks like he gets it as well. So that's one thing he's not going to have to worry about again. And it looked like Monkley took some damage there. Not sure from what.
That's the magical damage you can sometimes get on that log
Oh,
platform.
man.
That's not some good damage. Though Monkley in a very scary spot. His shot phases through. He just needs to lure it down without taking any more damage. He can't afford to. He does break the ceiling and get in. Hydra gets the cell and breaks the ceiling and get in. And we are still at that same deficit pretty much.
Yeah, Hydra's gained back a little bit of time. Looks like 15 seconds at Bash, 10 seconds at the second Gitzo mini-boss, and some hyperspeed for Hydra. We saw Monkley go for that earlier, but ended up taking a dive into the water.
Oh, and Monkley misses his bash up to that platform, so there was Hydra's opportunity. He pounced on it. He's back in the lead by just about 2 or 3 seconds right now.
Yep, and now we're coming up on the Swamp exit. Not quite as bad as the Swamp entry, but still can be quite a bit of a pain. And the conclusion to that is the well-known Kuro cutscene skip. That is where Hydra last match managed to open up quite a bit of a lead by getting it, and Monkley did not. Hydra's just been killing, and almost taking a dip in the water there from Hydra.
Fortunately, with 4 HP, a dip in the water, not the worst thing in the world, but you want to avoid it all the same, so Hydra doing that successfully. He is going to throw down another save here on the way to this frog manipulation, which, as you mentioned, last race proved to be a little bit of a thing for Hydra, mostly due to that laser mishap, but there he is good this time, and Monkley is also good. His is a little slower just with that higher angle on the bash, and now, with no lasers, both runners will be very confident in this section. We'll see those Kuro cutscene skips coming up now.
Well, Hydra gets into a good position, and I'm not really surprised at the results. Monkley on the right gets through this time. All right, so saving 17 seconds, a potential 17-second deficit there. So good work on Monkley's part, keeping this race close.
Yeah, so now we're going to be heading into this later section of the game with a much closer gap than before, which means Hydra has even less room to make any mistakes like the kind that he made on Crazy Juggle last race. So, a little bit of a flub on stomping that wall, but that's not really a huge deal. What Hydra's really going to be focused on is nail all those tricks first try, and when he does go for Crazy Juggle, which we know that he's going to, make sure that he is absolutely on point on those inputs.
Yeah, pretty much the same deficit between the trees here. So no major gain for either player from Stomp to Charge Flame, but this is the point of the run. We're going to the very mysterious, the very hard to get to left side of the map. And
Ooh, that's an unfortunate flub for both of them. They both flubbed that dash line. So they both end up standing on the Spirit Well, where there's a nice, lovely slow zone that makes you, kind of do the perp walk as they're leaving. But now we're getting this, you mentioned it, the left side of the map. We call it that because it's basically separated from the rest of the world by this one gate. You have to stop this peg, and that is the absolute blocker to being able to continue into Valley of the Wind. Hydra having a little bit of a flub there, but will be making his way on to, continue into the hard sphere.
And once again, has to go to the backup, but he has to go around, and just like that, Monkley is within a second of Hydra here. Wow.
Yeah, that fish is incredibly scary. I legitimately don't know why anyone tries to use it, Fant, but if you do, you're in for a scary time, and then Hydra is showing that that water is not very clean.
All right, we're going to have pretty synced stompless attempts here. This is something Monkley did not get last time, and Hydra takes a death and is all the way back. Oh my god.
Fant, that is one of the biggest most costly deaths you can possibly take in the speedrun as Monkley pulls off Fast Stompless first try. That is a 1.5-minute death. Sends him all the way back to that spirit well. That is insanely huge. Monkley has the door wide open for him right now. He can do almost whatever he wants. Hydra has to play incredibly well.
Yeah, Hydra, even though Hydra does have the better BP, is capable of doing some crazy stuff. And oh, once again, it takes 2 damage there into the poisoned water.
Very nearly dashes into the spikes as well, but he is okay to continue. But now we're going to be focused on the right screen as Monkley is beginning his Sorrow Bash. And he is going to do the standard, get this burn position, try to double bash it. Has a little bit of trouble, but he's good on the second one.
All right. Gets the bird. Oop. Gets a little... He's okay.
Everything's fine.
All right.
Everything's fine.
Back to your left. Hydra, attempt on Fast Stompless. He needs to get this to stay in this race. It looked pretty good to me, but as you know, stuff... Okay, well, you got it. All right.
Yeah, that's the commentator thing. We can never tell. But fortunately, in this case, it's good. Monkley is deep into Sorrow Pass already, and he will be heading to the charge jump tree. Just needs to get his keys into this door, not take any spike hits. He is good, and heads into the tree now as Hydra will be beginning his Sorrow Bash, and he's going to do a slightly faster method, but also needs to... wow, look at his mouse pointer, dude. I can't tell if that's him doing like the mouse flailing or if his hands are just shaking much.
Yeah, I really don't know. You know, Hydra's got to be frustrated. He knows how close this race was last time. He knows the type of player that Monkley is, and he probably knows, man, I need to play out of my mind to stay in this.
Well, if anyone's capable of doing that, it's definitely Hydra.
Oh, and you know, Monkley took a death there on the escape through Spike Cave here, the so-called Spike Cave, and you know, wasn't a huge death, but you know, a couple more of those. That's what Hydra really needs right now. And ooh, Hydra.
Some very questionable events occur, but he's able to recover from it. But yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing Monkley can't afford to do, whereas Hydra literally can't afford to do anything. He needs everything to go right, and now he's...
Oh, he hit the frog.
That
is huge.
Yeah, that ends his attempt at Crazy Juggle. Now he's got to go for Frog Juggle again, and just... Oh my gosh, the energy is going everywhere. It's all over the place. He can't... That's not enough HP on that frog now.
He'll need to make a save and reload for the frog. Let's see. There it is. There it is. And now he will be able to get this frog all healed up, feeling great, only to be abused once again to get Hydra where he needs to go.
Oh my gosh. He was trying to rekindle the save, but the frog was right next to it. What? He's taking a save anywhere. What is going on here?
Is he going to try? No, he won't do a tear break because then he wouldn't have a skill to skip everything. I think he's just doing Crazy Juggle, gonna break the ceiling and just carry the save anywhere in order to skip the Sunstone.
That's right, he's low on energy, so he needed this. And here he is up to the top. He's getting the Sunstone now, but Monkley's already heading to Misty, so he has...
Monkley not even taking a safety save at the entrance of Misty.
No, he knows what's at stake here. He can't afford to do almost anything with his energy except go faster. Having a charge dash go backwards, I don't know if he's watching again, so I'm not sure that he knows that minor mistakes like that are okay, but he just needs to not ever die. Any death will really open the door for Hydra here.
Yeah, because a death right now would put Monkley all the way back up to Sunstone. He's sitting at 2 HP, and there's a safety save, so he is safe from that horrible theoretical scenario, and he just blew his last energy, going to stomp the crystal there, take another hit, so he's got to be careful once again. Man, I wonder if like the nerves are getting to him at this point.
They have to be. In fact, I would say based on the things that are happening to Monkley, he's got to be watching. He must know that he is this far ahead. And if I were ahead of Hydra at this stage in this tense of a race, I would be doing these exact same things. I'd be freaking the heck out. But Monkley is making such good work of this situation, and he has made it to the climb tree. Hydra has to do absolutely everything flawless for the rest of the way, and even then it might not be enough. But he's going to start here. Look at those charge dashes through those spikes, managing to survive. But he has the entirety of the front of Misty to do, while Monkley is already working his way through the second half.
Yeah, Monkley definitely has a lot of room to take this safe. He doesn't need to go for every single stomp cancel. He can place safety saves. Ooh, getting close to those spikes there, but he can place it there. Doesn't opt to. He's fine. May see it later on.
Hydra on his way in gets that same fake charge dash back to the right that Monkley got, so no time save there for him. But he is look at him, the way he's playing right now. You know, this is now effectively a 28 attempt for him. Everything has to go perfectly, and it certainly is so far on this first half of Misty. He is absolutely out of his mind right now. Monkley, though, is not making any major mistakes. He's just doing everything clean enough to not die, and that's really the key here.
All right, well, he got the save with the energies. He won't have to worry about rekindling there or dying to the mini-boss and losing it again. But Monkley has had trouble with the mini-boss in the past. Took quite a few deaths in his race versus Richard. Had a little bit of spaghetti in the last race versus Hydra. We'll see if he manages to correct those mistakes. And
oh, Monkley, if there were ever a time to save yourself from this mini-boss, this is that time. Just charge dash your life depends on it.
He got it, okay. He's clear.
Survived
But Hydra, okay, a little bit of a scary situation for Hydra. Almost died to the Bane lane, almost fell into the spikes, but he recovers. No safety saves, of course. There's the crazy meteor kick. He's going for literally everything. And you know, Monkley, as scary as this is from Hydra, this is kind of a preferable situation for Monkley having this lead by forcing your opponent to go for all this crazy difficult. Oh, what?
Busting out the Ronnie charge down. Win this match. He is so serious right now, and that is absolutely incredible to do that in a race situation, fan. I cannot believe the chutzpah that Hydra is showing us right now.
Yeah, but Monkley, by pressing your opponent to go for literally everything, that also makes any potential mistake also very costly. But so far, Hydra just putting on a clinic on Misty, an excellent Misty mini-boss kill. But Monkley is almost to Light Grenade. Hydra is running out of runway to catch him.
Yeah, this might be on the order of a 40-second advantage for Monkley right now, which is so huge, and yet Hydra's play is so good. Any mistake from Monkley opens the door for Hydra so wide that Monkley cannot afford to make a single mistake. He needs to make sure that he takes no deaths, no extra damage, nothing. Maybe even throw down a safety save or two here or there, but just make sure you do not die at all costs, fan.
Yeah, at this point, I wonder if Monkley is considering grabbing the 6 health cell. We saw Hydra fail to do the swim last attempt, and no, just having a little bit of trouble getting out of Light Grenade. You know, this is really minor, but it's slowly adding up. You know, Hydra has gained back quite a bit of time just from Climb Tree. This is not over yet by any means.
And the high five at the Yoka laser from our two runners. It's alright. Hydra gets the dash light over the cutscene trigger. He is in. Monkley having some very scary moments here with the Raziel no boulder, but he is able to get to the health cell, and he will be heading to through. Hydra clicks on the grenade tree. Now it's a deficit of maybe 35 seconds.
Wow, Hydra is doing everything he can to bring it back, and he has done a wonderful job of that. But still, wow, excellent grenade jump. Gets only a little bit of the slow zone there, but Monkley's on his way to Horu.
And we're going to see if he opts for that 6th health cell that you just talked about. It would definitely be a great safety strat given the situation, but he's not going for it. Monkley says, I need to be able to do this at 5 HP. I really hope that won't come back and bite him, but in the meantime, it does mean that he won't have to take that 4-second time loss right here and open the door that much more for Hydra.
All right, well, Monkley has made it to the Horu door as Hydra has teleported into Swamp, has to change his movement a little bit because of that boulder shenanigans he had to deal with earlier. But if Monkley has a little bit of trouble on door warp, Hydra can come back really fast. Let's see. Both of the runners got it first try last time. A little bit of mini spaghetti from Monkley. Let's see if he can do it. And he gets it first try.
Oh,
so a clean escape from Monkley, and he will have this. But this escape is not free.
And Hydra is right on his tail. He is coming to the door for his door warp attempt. Monkley just needs to finish this escape, but boy, when we say, quote, just needs, that's a lot. In this pressure, with the opportunity to upset the #1 seed, Monkley has to be perfect here. Here we go, fan.
Wow, Monkley's down to 2 energy already, and Hydra looks like he got a first try door warp. I have no words for what we are witnessing here today, Woolgen.
All right, I'm going to try to say something that Monkley is heading into the final swim section. He just needs to carefully make sure not to take any damage here. He's going to want to have stalled a little bit anyway for those fish positions. They look really good. He is aiming carefully. He makes his way out of the water.
It comes down to grenade jump from Monkley. Everybody, all eyes on the right. Can Monkley pull off the grenade jump in a reasonable amount of time? Here it is.
Going as fast as he can. Monkley needs to get this as soon as he possibly can.
And he's done it! Monkley has done the unspeakable. He has gone 2-0 versus the #1 seed Hydra and taken the victory. Hydra has been knocked out of the tournament. Monkley proceeding on to the bracket stage. I cannot believe what just happened.
What an upset in the first of our division finals to be played here. Monkley is victorious. Hydra finishing up, but he will be knocked out of the tournament after an 0-2 result against Monkley. I cannot believe what we just watched. What an incredible performance by Monkley.
Oh, wow.
GG. That's it.
GG. The biggest GGs possible to Monkley for pulling this off. 31-22. So he's improved his races by basically a minute each time. He had some 35s versus Richard, then a 34, a 33 when it counted, 32 with the last race, now a 31. Ronnie, better look out. This may be coming your way in the future.
Wow. Monkley finishing up with his 31-22. Hydra finishing up with a 31-43. It's 19 seconds behind his opponent. No Naru hops this time, but unfortunately will not be enough. Hydra is eliminated from the tournament. Monkley will be the victor, and he will be the first entrant in the quarterfinals of this tournament to represent the Ream division, and wow.
Yeah, and going into the final bracket stage, everything is reset. It's all going to be best of threes and some other stuff later on. I don't know, Woolagen, you know more about this than I do. What have we got in store for us? Yeah,
well, everything beyond this stage, as you pointed out, is a best of 3 until the finals, and the finals are a best of 5. So, you know, briefly mentioning that, like, winning in a best of 3 situation, including effectively what this one was, it is very hard if you're the lower. The higher player has more opportunities to just to take that away. But in the meantime, we are joined in the voice chat by our victor here today, Monkley, and our #1 seed, Hydra. Monkley, we're going to start with you. G, dude. Congratulations.
I'm sweating.
What do you say? You got your cardio for, I guess, the year out of those back-to-back races. By the way, were you watching? Were either of you watching your opponent? Okay.
Hydra, were you?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the turning point of that was the death in Valley for Hydra. And I looked over, like, I just happened to be in the feather cutscene and look over and see it, and I was just like, oh my god. And I was like, as long as I don't choke anything, that alone is a big enough deficit that I don't think you can just outpace me. But
yeah, no. But
yeah,
that being said, Hydra,
I have some
you put on yeah, Hydra, you put on a crazy after that death from Val, you were going for everything, and you like shaved over a minute off of that deficit by the end. Like, what was your mindset there? We're just going for literally everything I could think of, throwing everything in. I gotta bring this back.
Yep. I knew that was enough time lost that I just had to go for everything. There was no chance if I didn't. Although, man, I mean, if I had taken Sorrow a little bit more carefully, yeah.
I mean, and any time along the way there, crazy juggle. At any time along the way during either of the races, did you have an inkling in the back of your head, like, Hydra, maybe you shouldn't do this, or were you just like, I have to commit to my best strats or something like that?
So about that, I'm very much not familiar with the Terrorbrate route anymore. I mean, I probably could have just pulled it out, but I was not comfortable doing that. I would have rather just run with the crazy juggle, which turned out to be pretty bad. But oh well, it happens.
Oh, that's rough, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. You obviously, you can't necessarily always go to strats that you're not as practiced in or familiar with in the middle of a definitely a justifiable decision.
Oh man. I don't know. That didn't happen. That's not how this is supposed to go. It's not what the script says.
Was it?
Hey,
was
hey,
it during this race
put
I
that away.
died to
Don't
the
talk
laser?
about that, okay, Monkley?
What's up, Hydra?
Was it during this race that I died to the laser, like trying to pull the rot, or was that the last run?
That was the first one.
Okay, well that one I just don't even understand. Like, I'm almost positive I saw no laser whatsoever, and I just died, and it was a sad time. But my thought process for that was I was gonna bring the boulder up there, have it float up to the roof, bash it down after having charge jump, and just charge jump up there. It would have been pretty slow, but it might have worked.
Yeah, I mean, in the first race, it's so hard to say too, right? Like any individual, and obviously, if you hadn't taken the death to Valley, going back to Valley in this race, obviously it's a different story. But blah blah blah, ifs, ands, or buts, woulda, coulda, shoulda, etc. That type of thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Man, and the fact that you finished 20 seconds behind me, and that Death in Valley is like a minute at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, holy crap, dude. GG.
Yeah, GG.
I'm excited to watch this back.
Oh yeah, me too.
I don't know if I can ever watch this again. My heart. This dude.
Yeah, we'll wait for you guys to rewatch it yourselves. But an event happened during the break that I'm still staring at the results of.
I think I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, there may or may not be squirt all over my desk and various things here, but it's fine. I mean, we're fine. It's not like we were, freaking out or anything. Going back to actual questions, Monkley, as we have the bracket showing up here on screen right now, you've moved on to the quarterfinals. As the number 17 seed, your opponent in your first quarterfinal match will be against the winner of the near division, which by the way was one of the most ludicrous divisions, and it will be either Trojan Dude, Cheese Lover, or Lost to Do, any of whom is an incredible opponent. How do you feel about that potential opponent? That just entire division and that prospective matchup for you.
So I mean, I want Cheese to win because I need vengeance. I need blood. Like the fact that I've made it this far means you have to settle a score. But really, any of those opponents are just frightening. I feel like I actually kind of lucked out, sort of, in the way that I lost to Cheese, and as a result ended up in the division I did, rather than if I had won, I would have been in a different one. And if we had just switched places, for example, that bracket is terrifying. I mean, I didn't think I'd make it through Hydra, but all I had to do was get lucky against one opponent, not, claw my way out of like 4 matches. Yeah. So really any of those would be, is just terrifying. I don't even know who to say who I would think I would have the best odds against. It's just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it though.
Oh my goodness. Well, for Hydra, for your part, I obviously, of course, I'm gonna guess that the results of this are not what you were looking for. However, we do see in chat that you mentioned you golded both your grenade and enter horror segments. You had ridiculous performance in that end game. Going. I guess I was going to say going home tonight, going offline tonight. What do you take away from this race?
I thought I would be really disappointed that I lost, but honestly, it's totally okay with me. I put on a good show. I'm happy with it. Monkley, he won. That's it. He did it. It's incredible.
I'm still kind of shocked.
Dude, I'm so happy for you.
This is slightly less shocking, but I golded Dash again. This is like the 3rd time today.
Well, you played 3 races today, and we noticed. You've improved by about a minute each time. So,
all right, PB,
keep it up.
Yeah, next
world record.
30, dude.
World record. Just
hopefully this will carry on to the next match. Either that, or I need Cheese and Dedu to go, and then I need whoever in Trojan to fight, and then we need to fight before the end of the day. We have roughly an hour and a half. Let's go.
Easy. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm out of questions. How about you?
I'm shaking, man.
Yeah, dude.
That was
I,
intense.
Yeah,
I hate to feel how you were feeling after that. What was the status of your heart when you're like doing door warp and you see Hydra closing in?
Honestly, surprisingly calm. So for the first race especially, I was like, I kept looking over and he, Hydra would be, I don't know, 10, 30 seconds ahead, or there was a couple parts where I was maybe 5 or 10 seconds ahead. And I'd be like, oh, but in the next part, he's just going to pull away. Oh, in the next part, he's just going to pull away. And then, so I get to the escape. I just start the escape. I look over on stream. Hydra was starting to escape. So, there's about stream delay, 10, 15 seconds between us. All right. And then when I did the grenade jump and I looked over and Hydra was still in the escape, and I thought, did I just win? Like, and that's when I went out of my mind. Like, and then for this race, I don't know, like I was really excited in between them. And I'd say after like wall jump or so, like you get that first wall jump out of the way, or the first segment out of the way. And then you just kind of like go about the run. And I mean, it was exciting, but I wasn't actually, I was relatively calm, surprisingly. So,
yeah, I mean, you never really know when it's going to be them. Just like, clarity and calmness.
Right. One thing I wish I could do would be the Misty Mini Boss, but so every time today I have messed that up horribly. I did the same exact thing. I don't know what I did. I pressed down before I pressed jump or something, so I like ran in there and then crouched. I was like, oh well, that's not going to do me any good. Like, or I didn't get the charge jump off, so I just charge dashed and then crouched or something. I don't know. I'll have to actually practice that though. But I'm very pleased with my race. I, fared pretty well against my PB for the majority of it. So,
yeah, I mean, you have some reason to be happy with that performance,
Very.
All right. Well, that was an absolutely amazing show. Thank you both for putting it on. Monkley, congratulations to you. Really, just a fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
GG Hydra. Good race, man.
GG, dude.
I'm glad we put on a show.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm excited to watch him back.
Me too.
And Hydra, really, excellent job just showing us what you're capable of in that last half of the second match. That really was a treat for us to watch, all that crazy movement pulling off the riskiest, scariest things I've seen. But unfortunately, that does it for this match. But, well, later on, not tonight, but more tomorrow morning.
It's tonight. Sort of.
It depends what time zone you're in. But I think for the majority of us,
it's in 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
there we go.
But that's technically tomorrow for most people. All right, well, it's going to be Cheese Lover versus Didu.
That's right.
One of the potential opponents for our recent victor, Monkley. So that should be pretty exciting. Can't wait to see the results of that.
That's right. It's going to be on the main Speed Gaming channel. It is at 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You're going to get kind of a mix of, we've got a partial, we got a West Coast US crew, and we've got some European presence to help run the show. Speed Gaming, the only thing going on right now is the tail end of Zelda 1 Rando on Speed Gaming 1, so if you want to go check that out, go ahead and do that. Speed Gaming's actually on Easter break tomorrow, but don't worry, we've got one race for you tomorrow in addition to and that is between me, Vol'jin, and Sikinar. We've got the lower finals from our division coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That will also be on the main Speed Gaming channel. But otherwise, if you guys are bored anytime tomorrow, my understanding is all the Speed Gaming channels are going to be playing vodcasts of cool stuff from the recent past. So there should be a lot of good stuff for you to watch.
You should watch all the stuff.
Every bit of it. Just put multi-Twitch all 4 of them.
Don't worry about your families coming over for Easter or anything.
Yep.
Really,
watch the streams.
You should be watching
the
Speed
podcasts.
Gaming.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's going to do it for us. Fant, huge pleasure being able to commentate this incredible pair of races with you here.
I've never been like this excited after a match for like what the future holds. This is such an amazing day for Ori races all around, and particularly Monkley here, having
agree, dude.
quite a day, going 3-0 at all his tournament races. Wow.
Well, on behalf of our crew today, Sigma the Restreamer, Nans, and Meldon providing the stats for us, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to come back tonight in 5.5 hours. We're going to have some more Ori for you. Speed Gaming 1. See you then.
Damage as they head through. So, ooh, nice job. And wow, Yoko. Oh,
No,
my goodness.
oh no,
this is
Yoko.
good.
Oh my goodness. Please be careful.
He hasn't taken any like really bad deaths as result, but
Oh no.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Yeah, true shade. So we're gonna see what Didu decides to do. Nice safety save there, and wow, the value from the safety save.
The trick itself requires precisely positioning a frog and managing your XP, but because that can happen, because that froggy has a chair and it can stomp it right on your tiny little head.
Oh god, Milton, get out of there!
Holy crap, the recovery from that.
Like, it's deceptive. Ooh, deceptively difficult. Rufus.
Holy
so close.
crap, Rufus.
Oh.
Oh god.
Fix it.
And what is happening now?
I don't know.
Oh, Monkley's shot going through.
Oh jeez, missed the double bash though. He's gonna go back up. Monkley's shots are facing the floor. I hope he does not get that on the upper one. Jesus, broken into swamp.
Oh, Monkley getting hit by the shot.
Metal that Terra did. Oh, missing that, but he's got the backup. That's okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, try again. Just this time you can get to the platform.
What you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament, and oh wow!
Damn.
I do not know how he survived.
Both runners getting that 5th.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied.
Go stomp the rocks. And oh,
Fluffy,
I
what
didn't know you could do that.
Oh,
You really just keep
goodness.
moving and skip that cutscene?
Oh god, Ori's in the air! Hello!
Oh no. Oh, Frankie. Frankie, please go away. Oh, that is so painful.
Oh, this is a party. Luckily, he does have a safety.
Yeah, mini boss not quite going according to plan. Melvin's gonna go with the stomp spam. Keep that frog away. Get out of here. Don't hit me with your chair. He says he gets through it okay, and we'll be just finishing up Misty.
The section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is
He's gone through!
Oh, he died! Death! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well.
What?
This is literally synced in the final escape, guys. Unbelievable.
They both stopped the thing together. Okay.
Each one of those grenades costs 1. He's got 1 left. That's enough for 2 grenade jump attempts. If he keeps missing in that particular way, he's got 1 chance left.
One more.
And he gets it! The
First
clutch!
try, and well, not first try, but you know what? First try.
We'll call it first try.